And we're
And
live
we're
again.
live.
Welcome, welcome everyone. So we already have a lot of people that are actually connected live, more than 10, which is amazing. So thanks for being here. If this is the first time that you're joining, well, my name is Ignacio. I'm part of the Keyflow team. I'll be your host today. I also have Tom, who is part of the Keyflow team as well, my colleague, and he'll be the moderator. So he'll be taking all the chat there and the questions. So please, if this is the first time, this is the most important part. You can actually interact here in the chat. So just click in the chat and you can say hi, you can ask questions. That's what we actually encourage you to do. And also, I would like to explain to you a little bit more about the format. So today we have a special guest. He'll be going through a lot of things. But before we jump into that, I would really like to understand what's your current role, your position. If you can put there in the chat, and we already have there Mike, hello from USA. Mike, thank you for being here. Brandon, hello from Ohio as well, USA. Sabrina, hello, hello. Marco, so please put there in the chat what's your current role, what's your position. So Dave,
Dave's
peaceful greeting
California.
from California. A lot of people from the US. Nice. Sonia, partnership ninja from Denver. Sonia, amazing. And well, we already have pretty much like 15 people live, which is amazing. So I think that we can kick things off because we have a lot to cover. So today, Brandon, Strategic Partnerships Manager at DonorBox. We love you, Brandon. If I Keyflow customer,
Portugal,
Anna,
Anna.
Partnership Manager from Portugal. Mike, you're from Data Basics. Amazing, Mike. We love you. And Samantha, Partnership Director in USA. Cool. Please, we really do this for you, for the audience, and Marco, Global Channel and Alliance Director. So this gives you an idea of who is in the audience today, and the idea is for you to also interact with our guests and put your questions there. Okay. So today the topic is extremely interesting because it's stop building partner programs, start building distribution engines, and today we have probably the most important person to talk about this. So Didrik Brekke Hansen, he has been doing this for more than a decade. He's now the CEO of DBH Consulting, but he has been working for SaaS companies for the last, I don't know, 20 years. Trustpilot being one, Piwik PRO, and his main focus is actually doing that, like turning partnerships into a revenue engine. So, Didrik, we are extremely happy to have you today, and thanks for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me as well, and thanks for the kind words. I mean, fantastic. To sort of set the frame a bit here. I mean, I think a lot of us have built partner programs that look great on paper, but when you really look at the pipeline and revenue, not necessarily so much is happening, right? So I mean, the most partnership programs, they don't necessarily fail because of the effort behind it. I mean, they fail because they're not designed to drive revenue.
Correct.
So most companies, they treat partnerships as a side function. It's typically logos, integrations, campaigns, lots of activity metrics. But the companies that really succeed treat partnerships as a distribution strategy, as what we're going to talk about today. And that's something that's actually drives the pipeline and revenue.
Yeah,
So today, instead of the slides, we'll do this as sort of a live Q&A.
exactly.
So I mean, audience, please bring your challenges, and I'll try to answer them.
They are
But
already on
also,
fire. They are on fire in the chat. So let me just read this. Day partnership lead, Kriti, hi from Germany, partner growth director in GRC space, and Amar, channel partnerships manager at Faria Education Group. We love you all, guys. This is for you. We do this for our audience. So thanks for being here. And well, Didrik just said it. Like we have a lot to cover, and also please stick till the end because Didrik is super generous. He put something for you, so it's for everyone. It's a free giveaway, but we'll talk about that at the end. So Alisa, hi from Austin, Texas. We love Austin, partnership manager here. Love it. So maybe we can kick things off with the poll, right, Tom?
Exactly.
Okay, let's do it. So, what is your biggest challenge in partnerships today? So, providing ROI attribution, finding the right partners, internal buying, or execution operational scale? Please put
Don't be
there
shy.
your.
This is
Don't be shy.
anonymous.
It's
It's just for
anonymous.
us to set the
You.
stage.
This is not. We won't share the results with your boss. So please put there what's your biggest challenge today, and this will give Didrik an idea of what to focus on and what you're currently. Oh, it seems like finding the right partners seems to be one of the biggest ones, and probably proving
Oh, now
ROI
they're
or
tight.
attribution. It is quite tight there. So, Didrik, I don't know what you think about these results. Maybe we give one more minute for people to actually answer, but I think that it's clear, right?
Yeah, I think it's quite clear, and I think also, both the typical one that I always hear is to proving the ROI, but it also ties much into to finding the right partners, right?
Yeah.
And I think, it's the most common answer, I would say, the proving the ROI, and it's almost never the real problem, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if partners were actually in your deals, ROI would be obvious, right?
Correct. Correct. So
Okay,
maybe we can jump straight into the first subtopic because you're going to talk about this exactly. So I think it's a great kind of like you to actually talk about partnerships should own the revenue, not the activity. So all yours, Dietrich.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I mean, is if your partner team isn't tied to the same pipeline as pipeline target as sales, I mean, you're playing a different game than the rest of the company. I mean, you need to own the sourced or influenced number, or you build the first one to lose budget in a downturn. So what I typically hear, is how do we prove ROI, or how do we get leadership buy-in? And you don't prove partnership with reports. I mean, you prove them in deals. So partners, they must show up in your pipeline. That's first of all, and I mean, sales must engage them early, and attribution then becomes pretty obvious, I would say. So as I always say, if partnerships aren't tied to your pipeline review, or in your CRM attribution, they're not part of your or go to market.
Correct. I mean, Brandon says it preach, like he agrees 100%. And I think that that's spot on.
mm.
And I think that we've got
Actually,
a
we have two
que-
questions. Yeah,
we have two questions
two.
already. We love this.
Yeah,
I mean, Sonia and Akriti,
the
you're
first one
welcome.
is from Sonia. So Sonia is asking you, if you're starting a partner program from 0 to 1 and distribution is the primary goal, what are the first three things you would do to get started?
Nice.
Can you repeat one more time?
If
I
you're
didn't get.
starting a partner program from 0 to 1 and distribution is the primary goal, what are the first three things you would do to get started?
I mean, if distribution is the goal, I mean, most partner programs, fail immediately because they start with recruitment instead of revenue. So I'm going to be pretty blunt here. I mean, the first three things I would say that are not necessarily partners, tools, or strategy decks. They're about embedding the partners into the deals as fast as possible. So always start with the deals and not the partners. So pick, let's say, 5 to 10 live opportunities and ask, where could a partner help us win this? And not necessarily who should we partner with or what program should we build. Because what you're doing then is identifying the friction points in the pipeline and finding where external influence really matters. And I think that's aligns with the reality that pipeline is built through execution and not necessarily just theory.
I love that concept, Dietrich, and I completely agree with
Straight
you.
to the
Just
point.
involve partners as much as you can first in the deal. Just identify how they can actually help to close faster. So well said. We've got another
We
one,
have
right, Tom?
another question from Kriti. If a company is new to partnerships, what could be the best practice to adopt internally in my first 30 days to build knowledge about around partners?
I think the first thing there as well, also again tied to deals. I mean, learn through the deals and not necessarily just the documentation. I mean, what you should do is try to sit in pipeline reviews, join sales calls, review X amount of open deals and closed one, closed lost, and then you're sort of getting the answers to where the deals stall and who influences those decisions and what the buyers actually trust. And then always ask every time who else was involved in this deal and that wasn't us.
True, and straight to the point. I love it, Didrik, because it's exactly what a lot of partner managers need to actually do. So well said. Um, I think that we have a second poll, right, Tom? Before we jump into the next subtopic.
Exactly.
Okay, let's bring it up. So, how does your company currently measure partnerships? This is extremely important. Revenue sourced, revenue influenced, partner activity, all of them, honestly, we don't know. Hopefully, we don't get one of those, but you can if you want. Um,
It's anonymous, as we said
so
before.
it's
So
yeah, it's anonymous. Please tell us because this is important also for Didrik to know where to focus. But it seems like a lot are measuring, as expected, the revenue source. All of them seems to be winning right now, which also makes sense. Didrik, when we discussed this, you were expecting something like this, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, most companies they track at least revenue source. That's good. I will always also recommend to track revenue influenced. That could be lots of different things, but tracking partner activity is not necessarily, I would say, the core metric that you should use, as I mentioned earlier before.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that at least a lot of companies are tracking the revenue source. Then it's just about how to present them in an executive level meeting, right?
Yeah, that's key. And also with the language of the C level, right? Like the CRO, CFO, that's critical. What they want to measure and bring to the board, that's what you should bring them as well. Cool. So now we can jump to your best partners may not be what you think or who you think. So this is important, and I think that you're going to talk exactly about what we just said.
Yeah, I mean, when it's also goes back to the first poll where people said finding the right partners was a challenge. I mean, most teams, they, I would say, have too many partners and not necessarily too much output, and always ask me, how do we find the good partners? How many partners should we have, and so on. But you don't necessarily need more partners. You just need partners that show us up in deals. I mean, forget the typical traditional reseller who just wants a 10% clip. I always say, look at the VCs, PE firms, and the tech agencies. I mean, one of the strategic relationship with a PE firm can give you access to about, let's say, 40 or 50 portfolio companies. That's leverage.
Definitely, and I completely agree with you with quality over quantity. I think that's critical. Most people that we talk with or that we see that they struggle with is that they go for quantity or logos and then nothing happens. So completely agree with you.
Uh, exactly.
Tom,
I mean,
I think that
your
we have
best partner is always the one who's influencing your
who
customer or the one
who
closest to the
can
customer
bring
decision.
yeah who can bring the deal faster, right? That's what you're looking for, leverage. That's it. Tom,
yeah, we have a question from
two
Marissa.
actually, right?
Well, I think the other one is more of a comment, but we can address that later. Marissa is asking, how do I convince CRM sales team to collect all this partner relevant data? They already have so much to document, so many properties to fill.
Yeah, very true. I mean, you don't convince sales to collect partner data, that's for sure. I mean,
No.
you make partner data help them close deals. That's definitely your anchor there.
Yeah. I I agree with you, Didrik. You need to make sure, and Marisa, you need to make sure that the sales team is on board with partnerships as well. Like they need to understand that as well. So
Yeah,
critical.
I think some a good tips there could be, stop sending them, just necessarily warm intros. I mean, they
Mm,
are actually cold if you ask me. Implement, for example, like a partner qualified lead, like a PQL standard that mirrors your SQL criteria. And then if the data isn't clean, don't pass it to sales. I mean, protect
mm,
their time and then they'll give you their trust for sure.
100%. Yep, for sure. Cool. We have some comments and a question. Tom, we cannot hear you.
Sorry. Direct sales reps not very interested in bringing in partners that slow down the deal. That's what he wrote.
Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if it slows down the deal, then something is wrong with that partner, I would say. But that's also goes back to your attribution model. I mean, if you can measure the partner win rate versus direct win rate, I mean, if partner led deals, and that's typically the norm around every companies where they track this, close, let's say, for example, 20% faster or have a 50% higher ACV. I mean, then your sales team will stop seeing you as a cost or a slowdown and start seeing you as an efficiency play.
Hmm. Yeah. And smart salespeople know this. They leverage the partners as well. They know that they can actually get more quota and more things from partners as well. So cool.
We have
One
another
more.
question from Amar. He's asking how to effectively manage underperforming partners. That's the golden question here.
I mean, the first thing I'll always say when trying to build a proper distribution ending and when tying it into metrics is build your scorecards and score your partners. Then you will clearly see which ones who's underperforming and whose ones are performing, which ones to engage with, and then you can build your communication from there.
Yeah, just to add to that, I mean, just measure it. And if you're using a PRM like Iflo, you get that information. But it's important to actually know which ones are performing and which ones aren't.
I
We
also
have two more questions.
saw a question, not necessarily on the Q&A, but I saw in the chat a question from Alyssa. Any tips for
Yeah,
navigating relationships in the PA space?
Yes, it's
yeah,
the next
that's
one.
coming. Yeah, actually. But thank you for that, Didrik. And now it's your turn to answer it.
I mean, I think it's a very strong question, and I mean, most people I would say will try to just build a relationship with a PA firm and go from nowhere and almost start cold. But I mean, PA relationships aren't about the partnerships; they're about access to the portfolios. And I mean, if you can approach the PE firm or if you approach them just like a logo, then it's you've already lost. I mean, the best teams, they approach them like a portfolio. So I mean, you need to create value in their portfolio, right? If not, then you're irrelevant. So always try to tie it to revenue metrics and to different sort of revenue win rates and so on, and then you've earned their attention.
Totally. Just wanted to shout out to Brandon. He's on fire. He says partnerships is as much internal as it is external. 100%, Brandon. Like, cool.
Preach.
Next one.
We have another one from Akriti. If I'm going about recruiting legal advisors or consulting partners, what do you think is their win out of partner? They're not interested for a referral fee typically.
I mean, legal and consulting partners don't want your commission. They want to grow their own revenue and relevance. So, I mean, the question is here, I mean, how does partnering with you help them win more, bigger or faster deals? They don't want leads. They want to be pulled into deals where they're needed.
Yeah. Just understand what's their goal. Like, what do they want to achieve? That's it. Cool. Tom, I think that we have addressed everything. We need to move on to the next subtopic, right? Yes. Okay. So John buy software before fixing the motion. This is something that actually we see a lot, but Didrik, all yours, and probably we can discuss a little bit about this topic afterwards.
Can you repeat again?
No, I was just saying that afterwards we can discuss a little bit about this subtopic because it involves what you actually do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, execution is normally where partner programs die, I would say. I mean, I always hear, how do we activate the partners? How do we get sales to use the partners? Partners don't get used because, there's no system for when and how to use them. I mean, no triggers, no roles, no workflow. I mean, if sales has to remember partners, your system is already broken.
Yeah, true. And the big question here is like probably you need to fix this right from the get-go, right? Because sometimes we see this a lot that a lot of people try to scale something that it's already broken, and it's the recipe for a mess. But I think that what you do and what you address with your service and your consulting is exactly that. You need to actually get it right and fix that before putting the motion in place and building the system, right?
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, tools, you said it, like tools don't fix broken motions. I mean, Kiflo, for example, is it's a great tool, but tools are amplifiers, right? If you amplify a messy process, you just get a louder mess.
A mess.
So, I mean, fix your governance and how you hand off leads and share data, and then you automate it.
Yeah, no, true. And that's why we have a network of partners like Didrik. So if you need help or any kind of like thing like a consulting or ask a question, just please interact or get in touch with Didrik. I mean, I really strongly suggest that you will put your LinkedIn there in the chat as well. But it's important that if you need help, just ask. We have a network of partners that actually do that. Okay. Cool. Any questions, Tom, or we can move on with the next subtopic?
Don't see any questions right now in the
Okay,
chat.
we had
We
already a lot,
can.
but please, if you do or you haven't asked yet, put there your question in the chat. Didrik is gonna address it. Cool. So what do we have next, Tom? Partner selection is strategy. Wow, this is key. Didrik, all yours.
Yeah, I mean, we go back to what I mentioned before about selecting the partners. I mean, most team have too many partners and no outputs. And again, what I mentioned, for example, with if you look at that VC or PE firms, uh, that's something that most partnership teams aren't looking into, but they're going straight to the distribution partners. But as I mentioned before, a strategic relationship with a PE firm can give you access to X amount of portfolio companies as a standard tool, and I mean that's that's very, very good leverage. So I would always recommend to go in and find out who takes the decision, and that's where you need to do the partners or to do the partnerships.
From your experience, like for instance, at Trustpilot or other companies that you work with, like partner recruitment was, of course, something that it's strategic. But how did you, or any kind of like feedback that you can get, or you can give us from your experience based on what you see that works and doesn't? Because probably what we said, it's true. A lot go for the logos and the quantity, but from your experience, what's kind of like, how do you identify those strategic, or how do you get those strategic partners in the first place?
I would say it always starts with going back to your own portfolio. To be honest, I mean, go back to your customers, speak to your customers, and ask and find out who sits in their ecosystem, who's owning them, who's pushing them in each different sides of the cycle. I mean, that's then you get your answers already there, and then you build out from that.
100%. 100%. That's totally that's a great strategy to do. Just go for your customers, ask them. They'll give you your best partners, to be honest. So that's perfect.
Exactly.
I think that we got a question from Marco, right, Tom?
I think he's just emphasizing on the how do you partner with Ps. That's an interesting take. I don't know if you want to add something, Dietrich.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've already touched based on it, but of course, to it's always about finding out what are the metrics that the PEs are looking at, how are they working with their portfolio, and then you adapt to that, and then you present metrics that potentially can help them with their own metrics. Then you get their attention. So it's very transactional the way you need to speak to them, but when you've passed that door, then you suddenly can go into the portfolio and shine and do your thing.
Nice. Well said.
We have another question from Akriti. What do you think are two non-negotiables for partner managers when sketching the IPP? Any tools or frameworks one can use?
Oh, nice, Akriti.
Ooh, that's a very strong question.
Yes.
I mean, if your IPP doesn't connect to pipeline, it's just a wish list. I mean, the partner must be close to the buying decision and not just the same customer. I mean, I hear a lot of teams say, they sell the same ICP, but for me, that's not enough. I mean, you need access to decision makers, you need influence during the sales cycle, and you need presence in the active deals. I mean, shared ICP is nice, but shared pipeline is what really matters.
100%, 100%. And also, Akriti, thank you, because you gave us kind of like the cue for the framework. Didrik is actually going to share a framework with everyone that is attending live. So please stay till the end. But you basically talk about this in the framework, right? Like this is kind of like the checklist and stuff that needs to be addressed in order to go get to the revenue readiness, correct?
Exactly. I'll
Cool.
touch base on some of this there.
Perfect. Tom, no more questions, right? We can move on to the next subtopic.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
which is
Let's do it.
basically the last topic.
Yeah. So this one is kind of like the diva right now. So how AI changes partnerships, and I think that you have a really interesting kind of like way of approaching this, right, Didrik?
Yeah, I mean, it also sort of goes a little bit back to what we talked about when I mentioned Kiflo. I mean, you first of all you need to have a proper distribution engine, and if again, AI doesn't fix broken motions, right? It just amplifies it. So I think AI in general it can help us with a lot of things. Now I mean, you have all the typical RevOps kind of tasks where AI is definitely going to help. But I mean, if you go into to the human touch of it, I mean, building trust with a partner, creating strategic alignment, open doors into real buying conversations. AI cannot do that. So I mean, no AI can get you into a CFO conversation through a partner. I mean, that still happens because of trust and relevance. But AI can definitely tell you who to work, and I mean, it can't tell you who to work with either. So I mean, uh, you still need that trust there. But AI can definitely help you expand with all the RevOps work.
Yeah. Like the more kind of like operational stuff and manual stuff, I think certainly operational workflows and all that. Are you applying currently AI from the consulting work that you do, or how are you seeing that companies adopt this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've seen the companies that really have adopted it in a good way is having AI to do the account mapping,
Hmm.
signal detection, attribution framework as well. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there still doing the attribution manually
Manually.
and doing it via spreadsheets, but AI can do a fantastic job there if you really build the foundation right.
Yeah.
And I mean, also workflow execution is great. All these things. I mean, partner teams used to say were too manual back in the days,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that I'm adopting, and I see a lot of teams are adopting today.
Yeah, no, that's great because you can leverage with, you don't need to grow the team. I mean, but you can leverage that AI in order to get rid of the manual work and focus on the right stuff. What you mentioned, like building the trust, getting to those conversations, and getting also opening doors, because that's where you actually get the value, right? Involving the partner in the deal.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if partnerships still don't try pipeline after that, I mean, it's not an ops problem anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it goes back to what you originally said. Like you need to fix the first part, but that's super interesting, and I think that well, maybe we can talk a little bit about the framework that you're going to. I mean, there's the actually. So if you're seeing it, just click there, and you'll get the framework that Didrik was super generous to share with everyone here. But do you want to talk a little bit about the framework and what you offer as well?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a partner. I call it a partner distribution engine Monday kit. So when I thought about a giveaway I wanted to give, I thought, okay, let's try to give something that you can actually start using, and no fluffy PDFs here and there. I mean, I created a Notion template, so you're supposed to be able to run this straight away almost, and it's not a necessarily a pure framework. It's more of a system to activate partners inside real deals. So use this on one live deal, I would say next week, and if nothing changes in 7 days, then I would go back and look at your partner motion.
Nice, nice. I like the challenge. Like when guests challenge our audience, it's actually super cool, and I think that everyone here will appreciate that. And so, thanks also for sharing that, plus all the knowledge. And I think that Tom shared also your LinkedIn there. So everyone, please go and connect with Dietrich if you have questions or you need help. Didrik is someone that can certainly help you with everything that, especially building that motion and the revenue first kind of like system, right?
We don't have any more questions in the chat, but Didrik, if you have any final thoughts for you to send it out to work.
I mean, thanks a lot for inviting, and I hope it has. I have given some knowledge at least that you can use straight away. That was the whole point of my chat today. I wanted to be as precise and concise with the insights as possible.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. And again, I think that it was super valuable and there were a lot of questions. So thanks also for everyone that actually joined live, because there are a lot of people that actually watch the recording. We love you as well. But you get the chance to actually ask questions to the guests if you join live. And I think that that's, well, Akriti says, thanks a lot for the insights. We'll put this to use surely. Love it. I mean, Akriti, that's the best thing that you can tell us. Brandon, thank you so
Brendan
much.
says
Really enjoyed
enjoyed it a
this.
lot.
Brandon and Anna, thank you. Super helpful. So, Didrik, I think that the audience is talking. It was extremely helpful. And thanks again for taking the time and for sharing also the framework.
Good to hear. Thanks a lot again.
Nice. And for everyone, well, we'll meet you in the next one. Thanks for joining. We do this for you, so it's a pleasure doing it. And we are happy that you find it useful as well. So, please go and now apply everything that Didrik shared with you, and we'll see you in the next one.
In the next one very soon. Till then, bye bye.
Ciao, ciao. Thanks.